When the CEO of Ghana's Kantanka automobile claimed that the Avarta 12 is better than a Rolls Royce, it didn't just spark curiosity, it ignited a global controversy. Let's listen briefly.
Driving an Avatar is equally to driving a Rolls Royce. Okay.
Rolls-Royce isn't just a car brand, it's a symbol of extreme wealth, prestige and engineering perfection. So for a relatively young African automaker to challenge that legacy isn't just bold, it's potentially revolutionary. Before dismissing the statement as marketing hype or overconfidence, let's examine the facts. What Kantanka is doing with the Avarta 12 may genuinely signal a shift in how we define automotive excellence in the electric era. Kantanka's Avarta 12 is more than a luxury electric vehicle, it's a declaration of intent. Developed in Ghana, this EV represents a growing movement toward technological independence and engineering ambition across the African continent. At its core, the Avarta 12 is an attempt to redefine luxury and performance in a world where traditional metrics are rapidly evolving. Rolls-Royce, with over a century of elite craftsmanship, counters with the Spectre, its newest all-electric flagship. The Spectre boasts 577 horsepower, accelerates from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.4 seconds, and delivers a smooth, ultra-quiet ride thanks to its nearly 3-ton body and high-end insulation. Inside, it offers hand-stitched leather, bespoke customization, and an experience tuned for sensory perfection. Priced at around $420,000, it's built for an elite clientele seeking traditional prestige paired with cutting-edge engineering. The Kantanka Avarta 12 is a high-performance electric vehicle developed in partnership with Avarta and powered by Huawei's Harmony OS. It features dual motors delivering 578 horsepower, a 94.5 kilowatt-hour battery with up to 650 kilometers range, and rapid charging from 0 to 80% in 30 minutes. Inside, it boasts a 15.6-inch touchscreen, a 35.4-inch 4K dashboard, 27 speakers, and full 5G connectivity. With LiDAR, radar and camera systems, it's equipped for semi-autonomous driving. Sized like a luxury flagship and priced between $60,000 and $80,000, the Avarta 12 combines cutting-edge tech with competitive value, positioning itself as Africa's boldest entry into the global EV market. The Avarta 12 is purpose-built for Africa. It includes AI voice assistance that supports local dialects, adaptive driver support systems suited for rugged terrain, and a modular interior that caters to regional needs. It also features solar-assisted charging, a smart solution in areas where grid reliability is inconsistent, but sunlight is abundant. This isn't just innovation for innovation's sake, it's tailored engineering designed to solve real-world challenges. By comparison, the Rolls-Royce Spectre, while luxurious, is designed for environments with stable power grids, pristine roads, and high-end maintenance infrastructure. In cities like Accra, Lagos or Nairobi, those assumptions don't always apply. This is where the Kantanka CEO's bold claim begins to hold weight. He wasn't merely comparing specs or legacy badges. He was reframing what better actually means. For an emerging class of consumers, pragmatic, tech-literate and culturally grounded, better doesn't necessarily include champagne fridges or gold trim. It means a car that aligns with your environment, your identity, and your needs. Cost plays a pivotal role in this narrative. While the Rolls-Royce Spectre is priced around $500,000, the Avarta 12 is expected to retail between $60,000 and $80,000. Although considered high-end in most African markets, that price point is still within reach for the region's rising middle and upper class. Kantanka's approach redefines luxury, not as unattainable excess, but as smart, relevant innovation for the upwardly mobile. Here's the most interesting part. While Rolls-Royce sells exclusivity, Kantanka sells empowerment. Purchasing the Avarta 12 isn't just a financial statement, it's a cultural one. It signals belief in local innovation and a commitment to supporting African engineering. It transforms mobility into something larger than personal convenience. It becomes a badge of identity and pride. Let's pause and look at the broader picture. According to Fortune Business Insights, the global EV market is projected to hit $906 billion by 2028. Africa is still playing catch-up, but momentum is building. In countries like Kenya, Nigeria, and Ghana, Local EV startups are gaining traction, and governments are introducing incentives to accelerate adoption. Ghana, for instance, has reduced import duties on EVs and is pushing for greener transportation solutions, creating the ideal conditions for local players like Kantanka to thrive. Far from being late to the game, they may be strategically ahead of the curve. But there's a new geopolitical force shifting the EV landscape: tariffs. In 2025, the United States, under President Trump's second administration, introduced a temporary 125% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles and EV parts. While the move was targeted at curbing China's dominance in the EV space, it has wide-reaching consequences for global automakers. On top of that, the US also imposed a 25% tariff on imported vehicles from the United Kingdom, directly affecting Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce may be British, but like many automakers, it depends on a global supply chain. Some of its electronic components and parts are sourced from China, while the vehicles themselves are manufactured in the UK. This means the spectre is hit from both sides. Higher costs for components due to the China tariff, and higher export costs to the US due to the UK import tax. For a brand heavily reliant on North American luxury buyers, this complicates both pricing and competitiveness. Kantanka, although based in Ghana and currently shielded from these direct tariffs, may still feel the heat. The Avarta 12 uses Chinese-sourced parts, especially for its lithium battery systems and onboard electronics. If the company chooses to expand into the US, a dream for any automaker aiming for scale, those same tariffs would apply. A vehicle priced at $70,000 in West Africa could end up costing nearly twice that in the US, potentially pricing it out of the market altogether. However, there's an opportunity in this challenge. The temporary nature of the 125% tariff allows Kantanka to bide its time, grow its influence regionally, and wait for more favorable international trade conditions. With the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, reducing intra-African trade barriers, Kantanka can expand across the continent while avoiding the instability of Western trade politics. By diversifying supply chains and investing in African manufacturing ecosystems, they may future-proof themselves from global shocks the way legacy brands cannot. This entire moment highlights something critical. In the age of electric mobility, car design is only part of the story. Success is now just as dependent on geopolitical strategy, manufacturing resilience, and supply chain independence. And that brings us back to the CEO's provocative statement that the Avarta 12 is better than a Rolls Royce. Whether you agree or not, it accomplished one key thing: it forced the world to pay attention. Western media, which often overlooks African innovation, began covering Kantanka's work. Social platforms lit up with debates. YouTube creators joined the conversation. This isn't just marketing, it's momentum. From a branding standpoint, the strategy is brilliant. Rolls-Royce can't respond without legitimizing the comparison, and the world is left grappling with the irony. A century-old British icon being challenged by a Ghanaian startup and struggling to explain why that comparison doesn't matter. This is how disruption begins, not by out-muscling the old guard, but by reframing the rules entirely. Let's not ignore the design aspect either. The Avarta 12 isn't trying to mimic anything. It looks sharp, futuristic, and confident. Its illuminated logo pulses like a power source. More Iron Man than aristocrat. It doesn't borrow from the British playbook. It rewrites the African one. That visual identity sends a message. We're not aspiring, we're arriving. So, is the Avarta 12 truly better? If your definition of better centers on tradition, opulence, and historical legacy, Rolls-Royce still reigns supreme. But if you value adaptability, innovation grounded in local realities, and the audacity to rethink what mobility should mean in the 21st century, then the Avarta 12 stands as a powerful contender, not necessarily in speed or leather quality, but in vision. And sometimes vision is what reshapes industries. To bring it all home, the CEO's claim might sound like hyperbole at first glance, but look deeper, and it becomes something else, a challenge to the status quo. It invites the world to reassess what matters in this new era, and it forces us to ask a critical question. Can the Global South lead the charge in future innovation? If Kantanka's Avarta 12 is any indication, the answer isn't just yes, it's already happening. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Is the Avarta 12 a true challenger to Rolls Royce, or is it all just clever branding? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. And if you're into content that digs deep into emerging technologies, global innovation, and the bold players rewriting the rulebook, make sure to subscribe. Because here at AI HQ, we don't just follow the future, we challenge who gets to define it.